Whew. All right. This is tough. This is tough. First, let me start by saying that this is the reason I really hadn't made any content in a while. The things that are going on in America right now, I want to say it's crazy, but it's really not, because we've been fighting white supremacy, oppression for a long time. And today, I want to take a moment and talk about solutions, our roles, and what we can do to help our people. I also want to say this is totally unscripted. So I felt like a subject like this, you can't really script. It has to come from the heart. And so I want to say that this is like what's going on in America. I don't really view this as a race war. I view it as a war on racism. I believe there are good people of all colors, good white people, good black people, good Spanish people, everything. And then there's bad people. There's bad white people, there's bad black people, there's bad Spanish people, so on. But the problem, the issue is the group of bad white people have put in a system to where whether you're good or bad as a white person, you look down on every other group, whether that person is good or bad. And I'm talking about white supremacy. So we have to, of course, first, stand up to racism. I think everybody in this war, you have to pick a side. You need to either say you are anti-racist or you're I guess then you just racist. Because there's no gray area in this war in racism. And so additionally, there's other things that we have to do, right? And I think one of the ways that we tear down this system of white supremacy and oppression is through economic empowerment. And that's really what I want to talk about, because I said everybody has a role in this war. So I feel like my role in this war is to help spread, financial literacy to our people so we can start to, acquire the assets that we need, so then we can get the resources that we need in order for us to make change. You see, that's how this works. We need economic power in order to acquire assets and resources, and then we can impact change, because the world will see us as valuable. And right now, to be frank, there are some white people in this world who don't see people of color or black people in general as valuable to this world. And to tie in another point, right? And the reason they think this is because, let's put it into a numbers perspective. I believe black families own less than 1% of wealth in this country. It might even be like a 0.1%, I believe. And so as black people, we have to do better. We have to do better. I like to say that this war is being fought on multiple fronts. So all of this has to be in sync. We have to be getting our financials together. We have to be out on the front line fighting for justice. We have to be raising our children to become judges and lawyers and the cops that can impact and inspire change. We say we want the system to change. Well, how will we be able to do that if we don't infiltrate the system? And, again, to be frank, they've done it to us. I mean, you go through the history, They infiltrated the Black Panthers. That's how they've created this division amongst Black people. And we need unity at this time. And, we've got to stick together. I know it's hard. I know emotions are crazy, but we have to be able to channel that anger and that hurt into something more constructive. And so there's just like a couple of things that as a people we have to start doing. We have to start practicing group economics. That's another thing we have to start doing. That's going to help us build so we can start to do things that will put us in a position to, make the necessary moves so we can dismantle the systems that are holding us down. We need to start supporting each other, supporting each other's businesses, supporting each other's endeavors. If one of our brothers and sisters come out with something new, the first 100 people in line should be Black people, ready to support that brother. Because if we keep the money within our community, and as you grow a deeper knowledge in money, you will learn that money circulates. I mean, there's the stats out there of, money circulates, I believe it's 12 times in the white Jewish community. You got, so many times in the Asian community. But when you get to the Black community, it's like a couple hours. I mean, it's crazy. And so we are not circulating money within our neighborhoods, within our communities. And that has to change. We have to start practicing group economics. I think in this time, our people, we need leadership that can help point our people in the right direction. And on that note, I want to say that while I don't condemn the rioting and the looting, because I understand it, it's the only way that we can get people to hear us, making this argument of like, hey, stop oppressing us. Like, this is the only way we can get your attention. So like I was saying, I'm not opposed to looting, or I don't condemn it because I understand it. But I want people to also understand that we have to once we got their attention, we have to start working to implementing tangible solutions. We can't just go and destroy stores and all of that and not have a plan after. We have to, once we have their attention, we have to be able to say, okay, here are the things we want, and we want them implemented now, and then we'll be satisfied. But at the same time, I feel like that's where leadership has let us down. You think about when these politicians and stuff get into office, they talk with Black leaders, and I want to know what concessions are Black leaders making to give the vote. For years, we haven't seen any tangible solutions. So that's why, people are doing what they're doing. They're hurt, they're angry, they're hungry. 40 million people have lost their jobs. And so it's tough. It's tough. What do you really say? I just want to do my part and bring in positivity and giving a different perspective of, let's try to attack this war a different way. Let's build our group economics. Let's get our economics together so we can then build the businesses that we need. Let's build the schools that we need to teach our children the proper way. We have to do all of these things if we really want to change the system that we're in. We have to become valuable. And like when I say valuable, because we already as a people provide great value to the world. But in this society, right now, the majority of the country, they really don't see it. And so that's why when we do the rioting, the looting, and, all of that type of stuff, people are like, oh my God, like now you see the power. When we go crazy, we shut stuff down. Like you're gonna hear our roar, and it's not like that's how we want it, because we remain humble and we ask politely. But when you just like keep poking and keep poking, this is the result. So like I say, this is the result of systematic oppression, white supremacy, racism. And as you see, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. So to my brothers and sisters, like I said, our role in this war is to provide, financial education to our family and friends so they can begin to build wealth and acquire the resources that they need to be able to impact change. Because when you have wealth, you are able to give more. And that's something that I, think I should lead off with, is that in these times right now, we should all ask ourselves, how can I do more, give more, serve more, and just do better? So with that, guys, I'm not going to ask for any likes. This was a video that was really hard to make. I didn't really know how to put my words together, so I just figured I'd talk. But hopefully, what I said resonates with someone and inspires them to make the change that they need. And one last thing, before we go, I recommend everybody get this book right here. PowerNomics, The National Plan to Empower Black America. It's by Dr. Claude Anderson. I highly recommend this book. This book has the plan that we need to make change in our communities. And so with that said, I want everybody to be careful, definitely stay blessed, and peace out.